the first time, someone who is yet to marry into the royal family has been allowed to attend the royal Christmas Day church service. We're talking, of course, about Prince Harry's fiancée, Meghan Markle.
I want to know what the Royal Day church service is, like, and how do you get invited? And is it like a royal parishioner there, a royal preacher, a royal pastor? Like,
it's all
what's
royal.
It's a royal Bible, and the royal, like everything's royal.
I don't know. It's hard for me to get behind all this stuff.
Well,
I'll tell you, the thing that is interesting to me, I don't think any of the royal family stuff is very interesting, and Danielle and Felicia get on me and let me know I'm an idiot for feeling that way every day. But here's what's becoming glowingly interesting to me, or growingly interesting to me, is Meghan Markle's place in his family as a biracial woman who's been divorced. And you saw the story that came out over the weekend with the cousin of Prince Harry who came and wore the, whatever you call it, a brooch that is a racist brooch that is, it's basically equivalent in America of wearing blackface as a brooch. And she, when called out about it, said, it was a gift, I've always worn it. Well, she has a history of some racist tirades. And I'm like, okay, I feel like this is the tip of the iceberg. I feel like this is all going to start to come at Meghan Markle. And you're going to start to look at the royal family like...
So you think it's going to come from the royal family?
Yes.
Or you think it's going to be like just the people who look up to the royal, like the fans?
Princess Di was treated like an outcast just for being different and not falling in line with everything. Now, is Meghan Markle going to fall in line? Maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe she's not going to go rogue like Princess Di did, but she was never fully accepted. She wasn't black, so I just feel like...
The royal family has been decades and centuries behind its time for years, and that's one thing that people have credited Queen Elizabeth with, is kind of trying to move things forward, although slowly but surely. I mean, you were talking no one in the family was allowed to be divorced 60, 70 years ago. We had a king abdicate the throne because he wanted to marry a divorcee, and he had to leave the throne and leave the country for the rest of his life. So I'm not saying that there needs to be more progress, because there certainly does, and maybe Meghan Markle can play that role in that. But The Crown is moving as slow. If anyone watches The Crown, by the way, I watch it all the time on Netflix. I'm really into it. It adds an interesting context to how slowly the royal family does progress, and it'll be interesting to see how this does. But I think it can only help.
So The Crown is a show? Is it like a
Netflix
drama?
show, right?
Yeah, it's a Netflix show. And it talks about Queen Elizabeth when she took over in the late 40s and early 50s.
Oh, like documentary?
Oh, it's not a doc. It's kind of like a docudrama, I guess you could say. But it's fascinating, and it offers an interesting perspective into this exact sort of thing: the slow progression of the British monarchy and how to stay relevant. Because, like you say, you don't care about it. A lot of people don't care about it. To most British people, it is an institution. And so I feel like it is better that they take these steps and move forward, allow divorced people to get married. It's 2017. It's time for the Crown and the Majesty and all that stuff to catch up to the time.
There we go.
I agree.
All right.
Way to tie a bow on it, John. All right, Oscar-winning actress Jessica Chastain is being called out for appearing on the cover of the Los Angeles Times Magazine. She's been a champion. This is the reason why. She's been a champion for equality for women, and the magazine the focus was on women taking center stage in Hollywood. The problem with this is, you guys can see it, there's no diversity, no women of color on that cover, just a bunch of white women posing with serious faces. Rebecca Carroll tweeted this: honestly, Jessica Chastain is an outspoken voice for equality. How do you pose for a photo like this and not feel absolutely mortified by the blatant exclusion? How is it possible to not understand the message this photo sends?
Absolutely.
Chastain did respond. She said, it's a sad look, there's no women of color in this picture of us promoting our female lead films. The industry needs to become more inclusive in storytelling. I don't know. I feel like this is her dropping the ball.
I think it's her dropping the ball, but first and foremost, this is the LA Times dropping the ball. How do you make an editorial decision like that and not forcibly make sure that you represent all the women that you're trying to represent? How does the photographer not? I mean, we took one look at that photo and you go, that doesn't feel right. And if she is an outspoken critic, when she's taking that photo, it hasn't gone to presses yet. Stop. Let's talk about it. Let's make this decision before it goes to print.
And this is why diversity is so important, not just in front, but also behind, in terms of, as you said, the editors that make the decision, the editor-in-chief and all the producers behind the scene, all the writers behind the scene. This is when you come together, the photographer, when you come together and you make those statements, you make those points before stuff like this gets out.
Right. I got to say, though, that she's going to get some heat from this. I think she's responding okay. Let's use this as a learning moment.
The other people in the picture,
they have the same responsibility.
That's what I thought was why aren't they speaking? Then also, I think this gives even more validity to a Jada Pinkett Smith when she comes out and goes on these tirades against the Academy. They're warranted. They're coming from a place when a huge publication like the LA Times says, this is our diversity, this is what it looks like. It's like there's layers to it. Okay, well, let's first put the white women out there because they're struggling with this issue of roles. Well, how about black women? They're getting it from two sides, being a woman and being black. Hello, wake up. And that's why Jada Pinkett Smith and others like her who are vocal need to be listened to, because nothing's changing.
But let's use this as a teachable moment. Let the editorial board come out and decide, say what they have to say about that sort of thing. Not that there's an excuse for it, but they can learn from it. We all can learn from it. And let's not take this as a moment just to scream at each other about who did what wrong. Sure. Fine, that's what comes first. But what comes second is, all right, newsrooms around here, our own TV stations. Let's all take a look inside and make sure we know what we're doing, and take a look forward to make sure we're representing all people.
I love it.